Now, first of all, I thought I was imagining things. I, quite by chance, saw this here, which I thought was some decorated glass for a moment. But then, crouching down, I'm looking at this now and wondering if it's actually a gun. Okay, interesting object alert. What is this? What is that? Curious. Give this a little wash. Look, there's a handle here. Some kind of little can, like an oil can or something. Let's give it a wash. Let's see what this thing is. I think I'm going to be washing it at home, to be honest. Interesting. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pop that in my bag and give it a good clean under the tap at home. But it does look, to all intents and purposes, like some kind of can. Watch this space. The foreshore is so clean, you can practically see it in HD. Sorry. First bad joke of 24. No, but really though, it's always so nice when you can see what you're looking at and there isn't a layer of thick sludge everywhere. Now, down here I've seen what I think is a little skull. Now, it could be the skull of a little dog, because I've found little dog skulls in this area before. Yeah, there we are, look. Could be a dog, could be a cat. What do you think? Let's give it a little wash. Unfortunately, there are no teeth in there. It's very small though, isn't it, for a dog? I'd say that could be a little cat. Now, first of all, I thought I was imagining things. I, quite by chance, saw this here, which I thought was some decorated glass for a moment. But then, crouching down, I'm looking at this now and wondering if it's actually a gun. With lots of concretion on it here. I don't know, I could be wrong. We're shortly going to find out. What makes me think that is this bit here. So I'm now going to find out. We're going to find out. Now, oh my gosh, yes, that is a gun, isn't it? That's definitely a gun. That's been there for a while. Now, is it A BB gun? Is it a real gun? It's quite... I mean, it doesn't look like it's about to go off, but I will be careful. It's quite heavy. Let's give it a little rinse. And let's see what's on it. And then you gun people out there, you might be able to identify it. Oh, so it's a Colt by the looks of it. Well, certainly wasn't expecting to find that. See that horse there, and then it says Colt just above. Unexpected find. You just never know what you're going to find down here, do you? Well, as per the rules and regulations, I will take this to the police station and hand it in. But I want to get a few photographs of it first. Voila! Today's gift from the Thames is a gun. And look over here, this gun-shaped hole where it's been for some time, it would appear. I'm on a clay pipe hunt, and I've seen a bit of stem here, look, and I am hoping that there's going to be a bit of length to this. So come with me and find out. Look, it's going in there. Oh, how long is it going to be, I wonder? How long is it going to be? Ooh, let's come around the other side. Right. Oh, okay, I think something is going to emerge. Oh, there it is. And look, it's a little bit broken, but that does not matter. It's beautiful all the same. Welcome to the world, little pipe. Just down here, I've spotted a button, but not any old button. It is this one here, and it's a tiny 3-holed button. I've got a few of these, and we don't really know for sure what they were used for. Some of them are quite nicely decorated, possibly gloves, possibly, I don't know, I think somebody even suggested underwear, but I'll show you the other ones I've got. What do you think they were used for? 3-holed buttons. I've just been scraping around here and this little thing has popped up. It's curious, isn't it? I can't tell at the moment if it's modern or if it's something a little older, part of a clasp or part of some jewellery. It's quite interesting though, and quite pretty. What could this be? Further investigation required. Now, there's something here which is either a shell or possibly a spoon. Let's get this rock out of the way. Right, it's just here. Definitely looks as if it could be a spoon. Let me just change the way I'm sitting. Oh, what's that? Oh, button there. We'll get that in a minute. Come on, little spoon. Get you out of there. It's coming. Makes a change from a pipe extraction, doesn't it? There we are, look, a little spoon. I wonder if it's got anything on it. Let's go and find out. Let's find some water. Here we go. It might be silver, actually. What is on there? You know what, I think there could be something on there, but I think we will have to wait until I get home so I can clean it properly. I mean, there also might be absolutely nothing, but we will find out later on. I also saw a little button here. Where did I put it? Oh, it's there, look. Just a plain little button. A button and a spoon. I've just been scraping around here a bit and look what's popped out. A little button, and there's definitely a maker on here, which is great news. So we've got Stevens. Is that J. Stevens from London? Yeah, J. Stevens and Son, London, I think. So I will be able to look him up, or her up. It's always great to find a name on a button, or anything for that matter. It's brilliant to have something to look up. It just brings the find alive. Now look over here. This makes a change. I usually find mobile phones, but this looks like part of an old phone. Remember these, everyone? Remember these? Well, the tide is dashing in, but it looks as if before I go, we might get a little pipe extraction. Just here, look. So, let's see if there's anything going on underneath here. If there's any stem. Oh, I think there is. There's going to be a bit, you know. Let me just come around here a bit so you can see it a little bit better. I think it's going to be an 18th century pipe. Right, out you come, little pipe. And there we go. Very nice. 18th century pipe, probably from about 1720s or so. Let's go and give it a little rinse. Give my boots a rinse at the same time. Yeah, there we are, look. Woohoo! Thank you, River Thames. Oh, yes, and look, it's a rainbow. A beautiful rainbow, just look at that. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Don't you just love rainbows? I always look upon them as a real symbol of hope. I just flipped this over and look what greeted me. A happy little bee. I guess that's a sign to be happy. Or maybe it's a sign to just be. I think I'd better take it. To remind myself of those two things. Be happy and just be. To be or not to be. Hi everyone, thank you very much indeed for watching my video and for listening to my philosophical ramblings and my bad jokes, and I promise that there'll be lots more of those in 2024, so don't go away anywhere. So before I start, I just want to say a very happy new year to you all. This is my first video of 2024 and I hope that the year has started off really well for you and that it continues to do so. So, thank you for coming along on that mudlarking outing, and yes indeed there are some odd striking finds amongst this lot here in front of me, and I guess I'm going to start with the one which jumps out at me the most, and that is this gun here. Now, before I start talking about it, a couple of things. Obviously, when we find guns, we do report them to the police. Now, I just wanted to show you it first and do my video first, and then I will be taking it to the police station. Although, I think it's pretty old. It's practically fossilised, and for anybody who may be concerned, there's absolutely no chance that this is going to go off. It literally is covered in some kind of almost concrete, which is probably built up over the years, and that includes right over the end here. And yeah, so really there's just absolutely no way that this gun is accidentally going to go off. So please don't worry about that, and once I finish this video I will be taking it down to the police to show them and get their thoughts on it. Now, I'm not going to go too much into what I think it is, because I know for a fact that there are many of you out there who are pretty good on ammunition and guns and who can no doubt tell me. But of course I did have a little look, and we can see that it is a Colt gun. So it's a Colt gun, and as far as I can see in my very brief bit of research, it could be a 1902 Colt gun. At least that's what I'm really hoping. So please let me know if you think I'm right. I found a few pictures online of guns that are very similar to this, and the 1902 one seems to fit the bill quite well, because it was actually also used by the British during World War II. It was issued to the Home Guard. So could this gun, this fossilised Colt gun, be a remnant of World War II? Or is it something to do with criminal activity? Is it more recent? I'm throwing it out there. What do you think? What do you think? I have found a few guns on the foreshore now, and it's always a bit of a shock to find them. This one, it was pure luck that I saw it there, and it was actually really high up at the top of the tide line. And so, yeah, a rather lucky find really. And I wonder how it got down there onto the river. I mean, I once found a hand grenade, and that also would have been issued to the Home Guard during World War II. So I just wonder, maybe after the war, did somebody just throw this in the river? Who knows? Gets your imagination going though, doesn't it? My second find I'm going to talk about is this beautiful can here. I have given it a little wash, and you can see it in all its glory just here. And indeed, I'm assuming it's an oil can. I can't think what else it's going to be. It's got like a little bit here which may have opened and closed. It's got something here which presumably the spout went on, and this handle here. And on the bottom it's got stamped half a pint, so presumably would have held half a pint of oil. But the most interesting thing that it has stamped on it, in two places actually, is an initial. It has a W or an M, but I'm pretty certain it's a W, stamped here on the bottom, or rather scratched into it. And also, just here, there is what looks to be a W scratched into this oil can. So I'm imagining that this oil can was the very precious property of William or Walter, and there was to be no mistake about it. This was William or Walter's oil can, and woe betide anybody that tried to use William's oil can. It was his property. He scratched his initial W into it to make sure that everybody knew whose oil can it was. And so the question is, how did it end up in the Thames mud? And was William absolutely heartbroken to lose his oil can? Or Walter, or anybody else, or Wilhelmina? It could have been Wilhelmina's oil can. It's not necessarily William or Walter's. But here we have it, an oil can now full of mud and not oil. And I'm presuming it's from the 19th century. And if indeed you're looking at it thinking, that is not an oil can, then please let me know and tell me what it is. Find number 3. Let's have a look at this skull. Now, on that particular area of foreshore, there were a lot of ships which would have had ratting dogs, little tiny dogs on them to catch the rats, and maybe also cats. So perhaps this is the skull of a cat which was once upon a time on a ship a few hundred years ago. It could of course be also from a modern cat, and I'm pretty certain it's a cat. I reached up behind me onto my skull shelf, as you do, and pulled down my other cat skulls, and here they are, all 3 of them, the 3 cats. So this one is the most recent skull find. This one was found on a beach, so it's nice and bleached. This one is obviously a lot darker, which could mean that it's older. Pretty definitely a cat. Now, what else have we got here? Now, William's or Walter's or Wilhelmina's oil can was not the only object to have an initial on. This spoon, which I found, I came home and gave it a good clean up, and it is in fact an insignia plate, silver plated teaspoon, probably Victorian, early 1900s, and on it it does have a little initial. It has the initial B on it, so maybe Beatrice or Bobby or Billy put the sugar into their tea with this lovely insignia plate spoon. What else have I got down here? Okay, so now a few smaller objects. This interesting little object here, could it be part of a watch winder or part of a piece of jewellery? It's quite curious, and I have no idea what it is actually. So if you've got any ideas, please let me know. Now for the 2 buttons. This one here has J. Stevens and Son, London. And so perhaps these guys were tailors or outfitters. I have had a quick look on the good old internet, but I haven't found anything about them. So if you can find anything about a J. Stevens and Son, who may have sold clothes or who were tailors in London, then please let me know. It's always fun to research these buttons and try and find out a little bit more about who issued them. And then we've got this tiny button here, this 3-hole button, And like I was saying, we find quite a few of these and we're not absolutely sure what they were used for. But I've got a few here, and some of them have some really nice little delicate designs, little patterns on them. And so if you've got any theories on what they were used for, then please let me know in the comments below. So I found this, which is quite funny because I find so many discarded mobile phones or cell phones if you're in the USA. And it's obviously not quite as usual to find pieces of old phones like this. And I knew I had a few pieces of the older types of phones, and I've been scrabbling around for them. And in the process, I did actually come up with 3 more of these little dialing plates from the phones. So I now have 4 of those. I remember years and years ago when my daughter saw a phone like I used to have in my house when I was a child, like this one, which is actually a toy phone, but I found it washed up on a beach several years ago. But anyway, many of you will remember these types of phones. But when my daughter saw a real phone like this, she had no idea how to use it, which was quite funny to me actually, because of course we, or many of us, grew up with these phones. And so, yeah, how many of you still have a phone like this? And how many of you youngsters out there would know how to use a phone like this if you had to? Whilst I was searching for the older types of phones pieces that have been found, I also came across this, which was given to me some time ago by my friend Tobias Netto, also a mudlark and metal detectorist. He found this, so this is also part of an old-fashioned phone. So it's not just cell phones that we find on the Thames foreshore. We do occasionally come across remnants of the older ones. Hello, hello. Oh, so that's it for most of the finds. There is, of course, the broken clay pipe here. It's really black inside, actually. You can see where it's been smoked. Many hundreds of years ago. In the 1700s, this pipe would date to about 1720, I think. So a curious little selection of finds here, as always. And who knows what is going to come up from the Thames in 2024. We will have to wait and see. So before I leave you, I am now going to just do the draw to find out who has won this lovely oak leaf and Thames garnet necklace here. So here we are on the Pick a Winner site. I'm going to put the link to the video here and select a filter. Okay, now I asked people to put a comment in the comments section, followed by hashtag River Thames, and it was actually in the video a few weeks ago of when I went round London placing messages in bottles all over the place, asking people to do something good with the contents of the bottle. So if you saw that video, you may have entered, and quite a few people did enter. We've got 576 comments, so let's see who has won. Are you ready? Are you feeling lucky? Let's pick a winner. And it is Knit This Once. Nicola, it's a pleasure to watch your enthusiasm, not only for mudlarking, but also for your fellow humans. You've made my day watching you scampering around London. Merry Christmas and see you next year. But first, next Sunday. Cheers, Sarah. Well done, Sarah. You have won the oak leaf necklace with a little Thames garnet. Well done. Congratulations again, Sarah. Get in touch with me and send me your address and I'll get that necklace to you as soon as possible. And commiserations to everybody else who did not win. And don't worry, I'll be doing some really good giveaways during the course of 2024. So I think that's pretty much it from me now. I'd like to say a huge thank you again to everybody for watching this video and indeed watching all my videos. I really, really appreciate you all. Thank you for all your comments and your feedback, your suggestions, your help with ideas, and I'm really hoping that you're going to come back and confirm to me what this gun actually is. So keep those comments and suggestions coming. I really appreciate them. And thank you too to everybody who has donated to my Ko-fi site and to my super thanks. I really appreciate your donations. Thank you ever so much. But most of all, thank you everybody for being yourselves and for being such a great community of people. It makes such a difference in this world, which can be a bit mean and nasty sometimes, to have such a great group of people to engage with. And so I'll finish off with my little bee find here, and maybe it's a message to all of us to be happy and to just be, and to not think that we always have to be doing things all the time and achieving. But you know what? Just being is absolutely fine. And so I hope that for the rest of this weekend or the rest of this evening or afternoon, wherever you are, that you find some time for yourself. Treat yourself and just be in the moment. Take care everyone. I'm really looking forward to seeing you again very soon for lots more adventures in the mud, in London and elsewhere. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. Should